Hello and welcome back to Get Your Life Together Boot Camp, episode 6. Am I right? Yeah, episode 6. My name is Haley Estes here at the Mountain View Cottage, and I have been doing this series for 6 weeks now. And we have just been diving into all the things that help me be a productive mom and keep my home organized and have peace and joy in my home through different systems and habits and just the different things that we do to stay on top of all the things here. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, we have 9 people, not 9 children, 9 people in our home, my husband and I, and 7 kids. We do foster care, so we often have 8 kids in our home in this season. And so it's busy here and we have a lot going on, as I'm sure everyone does, whether you have 1 kid or 2 kids. This is not just advice for big families, it's for families in general. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. Today we are going to talk about habit mastery, and it is a topic I love. I think I say this every week. I love talking about this. I don't know why. I love talking about these kinds of things. They get me excited. And habit mastery is just another thing that I really love talking about because I think that this is one of the key ingredients to success in your home is habit mastery. So I just kind of want to talk about habit mastery and how that has transformed in my life over the years and how I have, managed to create habits in my home and my life that benefit not just me, but my entire family. And so let's talk about that. I think that it is possible to do things outside of your personality type or your comfort zone. I am not necessarily a morning person. I am a nighttime person. And so creating habits where I wake up earlier before my kids is hard, but it's something that I've been able to do consistently since my oldest kids were in preschool. And I think it's because I find value in that habit. And so I want to talk about some of the different habits that I have, one being getting up before my kids, and then how you can build on those habits so that you can just have so much more abundance in your life. And I'm not talking about like grinding and being productive 24/7. I don't think that's realistic. I think you need to have down days, and I don't think every day is perfect. I'm shooting for excellence, not perfection. Lisa Woodruff from the Organized 365 podcast says that she is a woman of excellence, not a perfectionist. And I totally agree with that because I'm really not a perfectionist, but there are things that I want to do well. And the most important things that I want to do well in my life are being a mother and being a wife. And I find that habits have helped me do both of those roles better. So let's talk about my morning habits. One of my biggest morning habits that I have been able to do successfully for a long period of time is waking up before my kids. There is something about getting up before my kids are awake, getting dressed, getting ready. I've talked about my morning routine, so I won't go into that this time. I'm just simply going to talk about habits and how that affects my day. It's like I'm not waking up to my job late. I don't know how else to explain it. When I wake up before my kids, it's like I'm showing up to work on time. And I am like 5 minutes in, 5 minutes ahead of getting in the door. And I just feel like, okay, I can do this. When I wake up to all my kids already awake and breakfast happening and cartoons on and just all the things happening already in my house, it feels like I'm starting late and that I am behind, what my kids are doing. And so, getting up before my kids has been a habit that I have been working on for a long time. I go through seasons where I give myself breaks, and I give myself breaks on the weekend, so that I don't have to always maintain this early morning because I'm not an early morning person. And thankfully, my kids wake up later than most kids. They're not morning people typically either. I have a couple early risers, but for the majority of my kids, they like to sleep in, and that's very helpful. So I started this habit of waking up before my kids. The next habit that I established was my routine. If you want to know about what my morning routine looks like, you can go to my previous video where I talk about routines. So I won't go into all of that, but waking up before my kids and having time for that routine is so, so important. And then I have built in things that matter to me in that routine, such as personal wellness, my spiritual well-being, my physical health, and just like, getting ready and getting dressed so that I feel good to start my day. And so you can hear more about that in the other video, like I said, but the first habit that I've established is waking up before my kids on the weekdays and before church on Sundays. Another thing that I have the habit of is different periods in the day where I tidy. I have the habit of starting laundry in the morning. After I'm dressed and ready, the first thing that I do is I make my bed. And I've talked about why I make my bed and why that's important to me, but I make my bed and then I start laundry. Starting laundry is so, so important for me with a family of 9 people. I have to do laundry basically every single day to not get behind. And so I start my first of several loads of laundry a day. I do anywhere between 1 to 4 loads of laundry in a typical day. I would say on average, I do about 3 loads of laundry a day. So I start my laundry, and that is just a habit. I don't even think about it. And I think that is the key to habits. Habits are something that once they are a habit, you don't have to think twice about them. You just do it because it is your routine. It is your habit. And you know it's a habit when you just automatically do it. And it becomes easy. And I think that's the cool thing about building habits, is that they can become easier over time and just part of who you are day to day. So I start laundry and then I homeschool my kids. We are in the habit of starting school at around 9 o'clock every morning. If we do school around 9, it gives me time to take a little lunch break and work on some things after school. And that works really good for our family. But one of the things that I do as soon as school is over, another habit I have is clean up. We, get tons of things out for homeschooling, art supplies, books, paper cutting, all the things. I do a quick cleanup after lunch and after homeschooling is over. And this just kind of resets my house for the rest of the day. Like I mentioned, I work from home. I run several businesses as well as doing social media influencing, which I hate the name of, hate calling it that because I do not consider myself an influencer. But nevertheless, I have the habit of cleaning my home so that I can truly immerse myself in my business world for a couple hours in the afternoon. And it gives me like this clean slate so that while I'm working on things such as like creating videos and content or editing or creating new graphic designs or whatever it is, I do not have to worry about my house and I don't get distracted. I get so easily distracted by messes. So easily distracted by messes. So by having the habit of cleaning up in the afternoon, it makes it so much easier for me to truly dive into my work stuff because I'm not being distracted by everything happening in my house. I don't necessarily do the dishes, but I clean the counters and the surfaces. I tidy up the living room, put pillows on the couch, fold blankets and put them away. I run a robot vacuum, which makes my life so much easier, and I highly recommend you get one if you don't have one. And I even more so recommend getting one that is self-emptying. It's a lifesaver. And then I have the capacity to work without getting distracted. The next habit that I have after working on my business, and that's the other habit, is that I spend, X amount of time every day on my business. And by doing that, I've been able to be consistent with my business for a long period of time and make forward progress with my business over the years. I get ready for the end of the day, which includes making dinner. Because I have the habit of meal planning, every 2 weeks, I always have dinner options ready. This means I don't have to run to the store. Don't not have the ingredients on hand that I need to make the meals that I've planned for. And so my habit of meal planning every 2 weeks is a game changer when it comes time for dinner. I also have the habit of thinking about what I'm doing for dinner in the morning. Oh, that's a habit I forgot to mention. I plan my day at the end of the day. Well, I guess I will get to that. But because I do that, I look at my planner in the morning and I see, oh, I'm gonna make Parmesan chicken for dinner. I need to get the chicken out of the freezer. And by looking at my planner, which is a habit of mine throughout the day, I can kind of touch on the things that I know that I need to do each day, and I don't forget. So I make dinner. That's another habit of mine, is making dinner. We rarely eat out. I would say we eat out maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe less than that. My husband and I do go on dates about once a week, so he and I will eat out a little bit more frequently once a week together. But as a family, we do not eat out very often. It's just not cost effective, and it's not as easy to find healthy options, especially where we're at with what's near us and affordability. And so I make dinner, but the habit of meal planning makes making dinner so much easier. The next thing that I do is my kids clean up the dinner, and we clean up our kitchen. Because we have so many kids, one of our superpowers is that I have so many awesome helpers. And I've talked about chores in a previous video if you want to go watch that one. But my kids clean up, and they clean up the kitchen and I clean up the rest of the house. So I'll kind of reset one more time before the end of the day. And then another habit that I have, and then I put my kids to bed. And then it's my time. And I spend the first part of my time doing laundry, which I actually love laundry. And I think one of the reasons I love laundry is because I reserve it for this special time. When I watch TV or I catch up on YouTube subscriptions or channels that I love, I will sit down on the couch with my 3 loads of laundry or 4 loads of laundry, and I'll fold them at the end of the night. And I kind of look forward to it because it's my time when everyone else is in bed. My husband works late because of his schedule, and so I get to just have that time to myself, and it's made laundry a more positive thing for me. I don't know how else to say it. And then I don't get behind on laundry. So my habit of washing so many loads a day, so I'll check in with so I'll run a load in the morning, I'll run a load before lunch, and then I'll run another load before dinner. Those are my habits with laundry. And then I will fold them all at the end of the day once everyone is in bed. Once I'm done with laundry, I go and I shower. I shower every single night. This seems like a silly habit to mention, but I do. It makes it so I don't have to change my sheets as much because I'm getting into bed very clean. I feel good, I feel ready for bed, and I sleep better when I shower every night. And so I shower, and then my husband will get home from work. And in the meantime, before he gets home from work, I will plan. I will do my paper planner, and I will plan my next day or look at what I have going on the next day in my calendar and make sure I'm ready for that. And when I plan, my habit is getting ready for the next day, whether that means packing my purse, packing a diaper bag, packing my van, putting certain things in my van if I'm gonna run errands and I need to do returns or I need a receipt for something. I do all that the night before so that I'm not racing and trying to get all these things done the morning of, especially if it's something early. And so that's another habit that I have. When I plan, I sit down and write what I'm gonna do the next day in my planner. I also physically prepare for the next day. And that is one of my favorite tips, is just getting everything ready, and then I put things in my car so that they're already there and I don't forget them. And then my husband comes home and we spend the rest of the evening together. I take my medications. That's a habit that I have. Only one of my medications is a prescribed medication. The rest are all supplements, and I have played around with different supplements over the year, and I have completely dialed in what my body needs. and it makes a huge difference for the way I feel and my energy the next day. Some of the things that I take are like vitamin D pills. I have a chronic bladder condition called IC, and so I take supplements to manage that, and I'm pretty much in remission right now with not having chronic bladder inflammation and pain because of my supplements. And so having that habit of taking my medication every night right before I go to bed truly is like one of my most important habits, because it helps my health be better and my mental health be better as well. So anyway, those are kind of my habits and how I feel about habits, because they truly help me be a better mom and just be more on top of things. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video about habits and habit mastery. I want to talk a little bit about mastery real quick. Is just, I think that it's hard to overwhelm yourself with trying to accomplish or maintain a ton of new habits at once. And so my suggestion for becoming a master of habits is just picking one thing that you work on for probably a period about 6 to 8 weeks until you have mastered the habit and it becomes second nature and you no longer have to even think about it anymore. And then adding a new habit in after that. If you can, master one habit, you can do habit stacking. This is also something that Lisa Woodruff talks about from Organize 365 as habit stacking. When you do one habit, you can do more. You can link them together. Like my laundry, I do the 3 loads a day at the 3 different times, and those are my habits. And then I also fold. So there's 4 habits that I have throughout the day of laundry that helps me accomplish all my laundry in one day, and then I don't get overwhelmed by laundry. Laundry is not a stressor in my life. My morning routine includes so many things that help me function better and be better as a mom. And, I started out with just listening to my scriptures while I got ready. And then I added a conference talk. And then I, added walking. And all these habits have helped me create a very healthy morning routine. And some of my habits also include the foods that I eat. I have the habit of drinking a 30-gram protein shake in the morning to start my day. And when I start my morning with protein, it makes such a difference. I'm sure there's habits that I'm forgetting, but these are just some of them on a regular day that I do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some ideas of habits you could implement in your life, and just think differently about how your habits affect your home and your family, and how certain habits can help everything just flow better if you were to implement them in your life. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.